Now to a conversation about the condition of the roads and bridges we drive here in Michigan. We know road funding, of course, a hot topic in the state legislature right now, with Democrats and Republicans still unable to agree on a budget. A new report from the County Road Association of Michigan finds there is a concerning shortfall in money to repair our bridges. The association finds repair costs have surged 32%, and right now 72 bridges statewide are currently closed, 77 are rated in critical condition, and another 255 are considered to be in serious condition. So to talk more about what needs to be done, we're joined by Ed Noyola with the County Road Association of Michigan. Thanks, Ed, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So when we think about how many roads and bridges we drive through and then you think that they could be crumbling or in need of repair, how dire is it?
It's getting so critical that we are becoming more and more nervous of the fact that we can't address these bridge issues. The study that we did, which was an independent study by an engineering firm, found that we have gone up 32%. As far as cost from the last report that we did 2 years ago. So we do this every 2 years, and we discover the 6 categories are bridges, buildings and maintenance itself, equipment, federal aid systems, federal aid roads, and non-federal aid roads. Non-federal aid roads are the ones that are really in critical condition right now. We saw a 8% uptick in that category.
What do you think is the reason why we're seeing that 32% increase?
Well, number one, we've increased the number of bridges from 153 over the last 10 years.
Okay.
And it's not because there are new rivers, it's because of engineering standards and environmental standards. So our bridges need to be increased in size and capacity, tech capacity.
So when there are some factors that are out of our control, I mean, aging infrastructure is a problem not facing just Metro Detroit, but really across the country. How do we tackle that as costs continue to rise?
Well, that's what the legislature and the governor are trying to do right now, is to address a problem that's been going on for decades. Let's be honest, I've been doing this, I actually started in the transportation business in '72. So I've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of things done to try to make improvements. But every time we do something, it's a good first step. There's never a follow-up. And this level of funding is going to make a major impact. Our report shows that we need about $2.4 billion annually to continue making substantial improvements. The Department of Transportation is also saying that they need an additional $2 billion. So you can see that there is a shortfall here in every category. We don't know where the municipalities are, but I'm sure they're in dire straits just as much as we are.
I mean, when you're talking about billions annually, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around that number. It's really interesting that you mentioned you've been doing this since 1972. Have you ever seen a situation like this? Has it ever been this bad?
No. It had been, and then every time that we increased the fuel tax to try to address this or adjust the registration fees, you saw a little uptick in improvements and work being done on our infrastructure. But at the end of the day, it levels out. And then in 2015, we did another increase in revenue and adjusted the registration fees. And again, you saw that increase in work being done, but that's leveling off. And now it's leveling off. And actually, it's probably going to start coming down because consumption of fuel is going down. We have more and more efficient vehicles out there on the road right now,
right?
And alternative energy vehicles.
There's so many layers to this, and you might focus on one and then not realize some of those unintended consequences. We've been focused a lot on what's happening in Lansing with a potential government shutdown on the horizon. What would you say to lawmakers when you see the State House and the Senate really at a stalemate right now?
All we can do is ask them to sit down and focus on what the problem is and how to come up with a solution. We're here to provide what the need is. MDOT showed what the need was. So we've provided enough information. They realize what the need is, and they're talking all 3 categories, or all 3 groups, the Senate, the House, and the governor are talking about $3 billion more. How they get there, that's up to them to decide what cuts or fuel tax or increases that they think are needed. So we're just sitting here waiting with our hands out and offering to help in any way possible.
You know, for a lot of us, infrastructure isn't something that is top of mind, but I'm sure that you're a details guy. This is something that you pay attention to. How worried are you, or are you worried when you're driving around on all of our roads? Are you worried a bridge could crumble?
Absolutely. But you look at any survey over the past 2 decades, and roads and road condition is always number one or number two in the eyes of the public. So, yeah, we're concerned. We don't want to see anybody hurt. But when we have to start, restricting weight on bridges, which affects emergency services, the fire truck can't even get across the bridge. So that's going to add to their time to go figure out an alternative route to get to that emergency. So this is getting to the point where we really, really need to focus on what can we do, how fast can we do it, and how fast can we implement any additional revenue.
I mean, the roads are such a big issue. It helped Governor Whitmer propel her to her first victory, talking about fixing the quote unquote damn roads. You know, when it comes to fixing our bridges and our roads and funding, there's so many different areas that need attention. What would your message be to the public? Infrastructure isn't always top of mind, but it's something we should be thinking about.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really important. You hit it right on the head there. We need to focus on the amount of damage that's going on out there every day, and without the focus of the legislature and the governor's office, we're starting to go backwards, and that's something you'd never want to do. We like to say here, everything begins and ends in somebody's driveway, and the legislature or the House and the governor are all focused on local roads. Your subdivision streets, your neighborhood streets, your local roads. Those low volume roads are what's really been neglected or not been efficiently taken care of. So we need to start focusing on those local roads to make those neighborhood streets and subdivision roads better.
All right, last question. What is your hope? We've got 2 weeks. Maybe a deal can be reached and we can get a budget passed. What is your hope?
I'll leave that to the political people to make that decision or make that concept or
See, Ed,
whatever.
This is why you've been doing the job since 1972. You know.
I've been around the block a few hundred times, yes.
Yeah, you have. We just got to make sure those blocks are a little safer for all of us to drive. Ed, thank you so much for your time and shedding light on this very important topic. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.